Do you know any low-code platform that works with SharePoint SE?
No, until now. Today, I'll show you how you can build modern SharePoint apps with low-code tools for SharePoint Server SE without compromising data security or violating internal policies. Let's dive in.
Do you know any low-code platform for SharePoint SE?
A question a lot of partners have asked us. At first, we thought there has to be something. The market is full of low-code solutions, from Power Apps to Power BI, Power Automate, Nintex, Skybow Studio. All these tools make it incredibly easy to build modern apps for SharePoint Online. But then we realized none of these tools support SharePoint SE. Power Apps and Power Automate is cloud only. Nintex for On-Prem is no longer supported for SharePoint SE. SharePoint Designer has long been retired. The gap between SharePoint Online and SharePoint On-Prem is big. But there are organizations that cannot move to the cloud, not because they don't want to, but they need the level of security, isolation, and control that only SharePoint SE provides. That's why we decided to close the gap. We adjusted our Solution Studio so that SharePoint solutions can be deployed online, on-prem, and even in hybrid environments. Our goal is simple: provide low-code development in SharePoint to everyone.
How does that work?
Skybow Studio is based on a hybrid architecture which separates design from execution. That means you start by creating a SharePoint app in the online studio. You use test data and a development environment that's separate from your production system. You can create forms, you can build workflows and configure business logic, all without touching your real data. Once your solution is ready, you simply export it as a solution package and deploy it to your SharePoint server. From that point on, everything runs entirely in your on-prem environment using your existing SharePoint infrastructure and permissions. The online part of Skybow Studio doesn't process or store any business data. It only contains meta information like configuration settings. Of course, if you hear online and on-prem in the same sentence, security and compliance are the first things that come to your mind. That's why we've designed the architecture of our Skybow Studio very conservatively. No business data ever leaves your servers. Items, documents, and records are only stored in your on-prem SharePoint server environment. Only metadata is exchanged with the Skybow service. All authentication and authorization continues to rely on your SharePoint user model and access controls. No external database, no open API, no continuous connection are required. In short, you get the convenience and the speed of a modern low-code development without ever compromising the security of your on-premise SharePoint environment.
Can I move to the cloud later on?
That's no problem at all. The architecture I just showed you is not only very secure, but also flexible. That means the same low-code solution can run on-prem, online, and even in hybrid setups without needing to rebuild them from scratch. Why is this important? If you ever decide to move from SharePoint on-prem to SharePoint online, your low-code solutions can move with you. You don't ever need to adjust or rebuild them.
Do you know any low-code platform for SharePoint SE?
A question that triggered a real innovation at Skybow. This enabled us to help a lot of companies modernizing their SharePoint solutions over the past few months. Low-code development is no longer limited to the cloud. With the right architecture, it's possible to build modern business solutions for SharePoint Server SE, securely, locally, and without coding knowledge. So if people ask you,
do you know any low-code platform for SharePoint SE?
Send them this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you want to learn more about how to build smart SharePoint solutions online and on-prem.